What's good with it, y'all? It's Coffee. Back at it with an update, man. And 2 years ago, we saw rapper PNB gunned down in Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles out there on the West Coast after flossing online on social network, rocking 100K worth of jewels at least, man. And we saw just how fast the streets get active, man, as a few individuals hatch together this plot, this plan, and put it into action. As there was a few co-defendants and the individual that went in to actually put the heater up to PNB Rock and rob him was one of the Cody's 17-year-old son. And when PNB Rock wasn't going, we all know the way it went down, man. He was shot 2 times and killed, leaving behind a fiance and 2 daughters. You know what I mean? The streets is cold. We saw everyone in the blogosphere, from reactors to rappers, people that were familiar with the West Coast, letting it be known that that particular Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles, where it was at geographically, surrounded by different neighborhoods, was not the safest place to go. You feel me? And PNB Rock ultimately paid the price for flossing them jewels, you know what I mean? Dude worked hard to get on in the rap game, wanted to show off the fruits of his labor, but that's just how fast things move with social network in the streets and all that, just like with the Pop Smoke situation. But here the update today is that for the most part, the legal process is now all wrapped up. As there were 3 co-defendants and 4, one of them was a 17-year-old juvenile who is now 19 years old, and his case is still ongoing as he's in a juvenile detention center, and he has a mental competency hearing coming up as they're still trying to figure out if he's gonna be competent to stand trial or not. But this dude, Freddie Lee Trone, was convicted as a 2-week trial went on, and the jury deliberated for less than 4 hours and came back with guilty on 2 counts of robbery and conspiracy, 2 counts of conspiracy to commit robbery. Now, there's that whole felony murder law or whatever, where if you commit a felony and you're guilty and in commission of that crime, it resulted in a murder, you can catch a body. But you see the prosecutors argue for it and all that, but it didn't happen. I'm surprised that that's the case. As when dude got up on the stand, he tried to argue like, yo, I was in a car over here by this beauty shop, but I didn't send no one in there or nothing like that. This was a heinous crime and whatnot, but the court and the jury wasn't trying to hear that. They convicted this man. Another co-defendant, Tremont Jones, he was also convicted at trial, and Chantel Trone, wife of this dude who was just convicted, she already took a plea. So with all their cases being wrapped up in the juvenile, well, he's 19 now, but was 17 at the time of the crime. His case is still ongoing, but for the most part, this conviction here that we're talking about puts a bow on the case and it's over. As with the 19-year-old still going to court, even though, he's not a juvenile no more, technically there's like kind of a media blackout because he was a juvenile at the time of catching the case. Just like in the Pop Smoke case, we didn't hear that much about dude who just got out and pressed Adam 22 for that no jumper interview that was very controversial. We didn't hear too much about his part in the case while it was still ongoing. He came home and did the interview and told everyone about it. Like juvenile stuff is for the most part blacked out in the media. They don't cover it. But with this conviction, obviously sentencing's gotta happen, but for the most part, that's it. That's a wrap. This case is over. 2 years later after his death, and the rap game continues on. The streets keep pushing, the world keeps spinning, and this all goes down in the history books. But life goes on, things go on, and PNB Rock's 2 kids grow up without a father, and the fiance is left a widow pretty much. That's how crazy it is, how cold the streets are. It's just another thing that happened, more or less, man. You know what I mean? We've seen this time in and time out with social network and the streets colliding, and the internet and music and gang culture and stuff like that colliding. You know what I mean? Wild-ish happens, but that's just how it goes in the streets. You feel me? So jump in the comments, share your thoughts. Always be safe wherever you go, especially if you're out of your element and you don't know where you're going. You know what I mean? Don't be flossing if you got it like that, because most definitely someone's always watching, and individuals are hungry, especially when it comes to the streets. Streets is cold. And once again, this is only 2 years later. Everything moves on. This goes down in the history books. You can be here today, gone tomorrow. That's just what it is. Jump in the comments, share your thoughts. Stay tuned for updates. It's Coffee signing out, y'all. Sub up. Peace. I'm gone.